Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Day 9, and this is the After Hours Gaming League. It is time for week number 8. The first 7 weeks has elapsed. Let's find out what happened. As we can see, in the rankings, Microsoft has decimated every single human being that they touched. Real or digital, nothing could stand in their way, taking the first place spot with a perfect 7-0 record. In the second, third, and fourth place spots, we see Google, Zynga, and Amazon tied at 5 and 2. And with those tiebreaker points, Google and Zynga are second and third, and Amazon is fourth. Now, though Twitter, Dropbox, Facebook, and Yelp gave us incredible games throughout the season, they have been eliminated at this point from the After Hours Gaming League. However, 4 teams remain. Microsoft will be playing against Amazon in this semifinal number 1. And in semifinal number 2, tomorrow we will see Google versus Zynga. The winners today decide who will be advancing to the grand final of the After Hours Gaming League that will be broadcast live from Facebook headquarters in Palo Alto, California. And those 2 teams will be battling it out for a chance to donate $5,000 of my money to charity. And as we enter into the game, in the bottom left, we have, from Team Google, it is Cicero, saying time for the threat down. He is the opening player for Amazon. Megumi X Bear, with complete and total confusion. This is actually a second Megumi X Bear. Time for the Bear Muffs. Spots 1-5 Bears. This doesn't actually make any sense to me, Cicero. You are throwing off both your commentator and fellow opponent. Now keep in mind, Microsoft, an early favorite for this tournament, not just because of their stellar performance, but because of their slogan, Macro Hard, Microsoft. We do see Megamix Bear saying things about Latin. But what will these players be thinking about when they're speaking that love-making language of StarCraft 2? Cicero, in the bottom left, Bears are the #1 threat to America, friend. Oh, apparently plugging all sorts of etc. And we do see Cicero now scouting down at the bottom right location. The important thing to note is that we did see Cicero come out to a very, very early lead in the previous week match, which meant that he looked like he was about to take a win there against the good friends at Google, but of course he didn't end up closing the game out despite all the void rage that he did. Oh my goodness, the trash talk doth continue, the friendly banter, and it looks like the max caps lock, and we're back to busy. There we go. Cicero continuing to enjoy the typing. Now keep in mind, Cicero, in his last week match, was indeed stating the fact that he does get very, very, very nervous in these games, and there are many a way in which folks do ease said tension. We do see Megamix Bear up in the top left. He will be planting down his spawning pool, first transitioning into an expand. We have seen this player pop out with many a different race throughout the tournament season. The Microsoft random player now playing Zerg, planting down that early hatchery. We see the Forge at the front for the Amazon Itasi. Now the Amazon toss Cicero getting ready to expand, and he gets it down. He doesn't end up with that obnoxious, annoying, ever-so block. Everything should be looking quite good and easy at this point in time. Now, it does finally appear that Cicero, the Amazon Itasi, barely managed to get to the Zerg base in time to see that the spawning pool had just indeed finished. This was a big tragedy, the fact that he scouted in the wrong direction, because in Tal'Darim Altar, it is oh so difficult to get to your opponent in this game. We do see Cicero now completing the Giganto wall-off at the front of his base, trying to ensure that indeed he can stay blocked off. 1 gas going down for the Protoss player. The Zerg player now chasing down with Dat Zerglings. And Cicero, the Amazon Itasi, going to try to pack himself into some expedited 2-day shipping on his return path home. Megamix Bear now making himself the ever-so-important queen. But we did see that first hatch pop down relatively early on to ensure that he could get that expansion up. And oh my god! Yes, ladies and gentlemen, inspired by Cats, or perhaps a pioneer of the strategy himself, the Microsoft Zerg is building a base in your base. In his face. Now, the thing to note is that Cicero, the Amazon Itasi, does have a single photon cannon at the front of his base. Transferring the probes. The hatchery in the base, Cicero. He doesn't seem to know. He's just content to have controlled the watchtower for a little while. But of course, as everyone knows, you always lock your doors before you go to bed at night. And if you do see a shadow in your backyard, it's important to assume that it is in fact someone trying to build a home, and that you should probably go send everything you have to kill it off. Cicero not forgetting the basic rules of suburban life and indeed chrono boosting out his many probes, getting that third gas. Oh, this is such a big sign that he wants to go into the late tech. We don't see a single Zealot, but of course we don't see a single anything from Megamix, just nothing. But the defense and the Roach Warren coming out right now. Roach is in the base. Now, I will say, this is going to be a little bit painful. This is going to be a little bit painful. Oh, let's build a pylon. Oh my god, a hatch! Oh, and suddenly building a second pylon. Now, this is definitely one of the worst moments of Protoss life. I'm sure this is one of those mistakes that you have made once. You know how many times you make this mistake? Once. But it does indeed appear to be the case that the Microsoft Zerg is laying down the pain, and the frown will be on the face of the Amazon Protoss unless he can control his units unbelievably well. Stalker, oh my god, Stalker number 1 about to pop out. Oh, just now starting. That Stalker, we did see the Sentry explode in a nanosecond. The Roach is beginning to work down on that Photon Cannon. Come on, Amazon Itasi, he has to micro. We do indeed see the fact that the Microsoft folks are basically unstoppable in the league play. They have lost games in their individual matches, won a narrow series against Facebook against Twitter 3-2. But will they be able to do the same today? Easy win, or will it be a comeback? We do see the Amazon Itasi managing to successfully control and pick off one Roach. There's a second Roach that is very, very weak, but when there's 6 Roaches being made inside your base, it's so stressful. And oh, it looks like we do see the Amazon Itasi trying to micro the best he can, and the Stalker pops out on the wrong side of the wall, and Microsoft looking very, very strong. Amazon having a little bit of frowning occurring at this juncture in life. Now, important to know, these are indeed employees from these respective companies. They are the folks who have entered the workforce, doing jobs such as programming and engineering, just like you or me, except they also like dat cheesing. And look, oh my god, the Microsoft Zerg saying, you might call me the cats of Zerg. Cicero has no caps lock with which to answer him, despite the abundance of said technique at the start of the match. Looks like the Nexus is slowly falling, and as if it weren't enough, we do see the Microsoft having a giant stockpile of larvae at both bases. Cannot really do anything with it, but you know what? This is my favorite larva to spend. The stuff that's inside his base. A pair of Stalkers are going to try to do their best, but there's the good game, and oh my goodness, Cicero taken down, and Microsoft is looking oh so strong going into week number 7 of the After Hours Gaming League Semifinals. If Microsoft can pull off the win here, they will be in the grand finals at Facebook headquarters on Friday, and that will be live, and I will be there, despite crashing a go-kart into a wall and demolishing my foot. Whatever you do, do not go away. Game 2 between Microsoft and Amazon will be coming up right after this.